input file operation, then it must be belongs to which stream? That is IF stream. So if it is put, then it will going to write a single character to the associated stream. So buffer is nothing but what? It is a temporary storage. It will going to hold the data which is necessary for the processing. Hello everybody, welcome back to third session on data file handling. Myself Rohini TS, lecturer in computer science, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So in previous session, I had a discussion regarding file modes along with how to open and close a file. So coming to this file modes, you have to concentrate the classes along with the member function which I am going to use. So with the help of that scope resolution operator, I am going to build a link between that member function as well as the IOS class, that is input output stream class. From that class, I am going to define all the member function, and then you have to recall all the member function along with its meaning, then whether it is belongs to input stream and output stream, that and all you have to concentrate. And when it comes to the opening and closing of a file, opening can be done in two ways. So I can open the file by making use of the constructor, or else I can open a file by making use of the open member function, right? So in each method, that means if it could be either constructor or a open member function, I can open a file either for input purpose only, either for output purpose only. But if I want to open a file for same, that means if I want to perform both the operation input and output together, at the time I must go with the F stream operations. That was the previous class sessions. And then how to close a file. So once I am done with all the file operation, it has to be closed, right? So how to close the file? So for that, I am going to call a member function called close. So what it will going to do? So it will going to remove the link between the file and a stream object. So that is what the regarding previous session. Then what I am going to discuss in today's session. So what are the topics that I will be covering in this session? So we'll see now. So already we know that we have two types of files. So which are the two types of file in data file? We have two types, that is text file and a binary file, right? So here you can see that in this session, I am going to discuss what are the input and output operations that can be done on text file. In the same way, what are the input and output operations that can be done on binary file. Then how to detect end of a file. So these are the concepts that I will be discussing in today's session. Getting? So let me get into this session. So first, input and output operation on a text file. So before this, you have to remember all the points which is related to text file. So when it comes to the text file, what are all the things you have to remember? So whatever the information or a data I am going to use in a text file, everything will be in the ASCII format, right? So whatever the things, that means whatever the data and information which is written in the text file, everything will be in the ASCII character. Then I am supposed to take the delimiters. So there must be end of a line specifiers, right? Escape sequence must be there. So that will going to specify that it is the end of that particular line, right? So, and we require translation. So what the translation is required? Can computer understands all these ASCII character? No. So what I'm supposed to do at the time, I must convert that ASCII characters into machine understandable form, that is in zeros and ones. So you have to remember the translation is required and it is not so efficient. Why? Because I have to change or I need to translate the ASCII character to binary form. Then only computer can understand. Getting? So these are all the things that you have to remember regarding the text file. Then how can I perform input and output operation in text file? So here we have two functions. So what are the two functions that I have related to text file? I have a put function and get function. So that is nothing but member function. Getting? So here I have two methods, that is put and get. So these are the two member functions or two methods or functions which I will be using in order to perform input and output operation of a text file. Getting? So let me move on to this get function. So what is this get function? So what it could be? So if I want to perform any of the operation, then input is important, isn't it? I have to give an input, then it will going to process, and then only I can get the output, right? So for input purpose or to perform an input operation in a text file, I am going to use a member function called get. So what this get member function will going to do then? So this get member function belongs to the class IFStream. So why it is IFStream? Can any one of you guess why it is IFStream? Because I am performing input file operation. If it is input file operation, then it must be belongs to which stream? That is IFStream. So this get member function will belongs to IFStream, and what it will going to do? It will going to read a single character. So whether it is reading a whole file? No. Whether it is reading all the complete line or a whole line? No. So what it is reading? It is reading a single character. Getting? So it is reading a single character from the associated stream. So from the stream, it will going to read. It will going to take the input as a single character. Getting? Then how will be the syntax for this get function? So here I need to take IFStream object. So when it comes to IFStream object, OFStream object, FStream object, then at the time what and all you have to remember? First, I need to create an object. I need to create an object for a particular stream. Then, so with that object, with the dot operator, I can access the member function. So in this also, what I am doing? IFStream object dot get of char. So that ch is nothing but what? A single character which will be read from the function called get. Getting? So here IFStream object, that is input stream object. I am creating an object for a IFStream, and then I am calling a member function called get. So why get member function is used? That is mainly used to read a single character from the stream. So then which is the stream that I am using? I am using IFStream. And I am calling a member function called get. So I am going to specify a single character within that ch. So if you see here, I am specifying one character which is of the data type char, right? So here ch is the variable name which is of the data type char. So why I am specifying that char ch? Within that get member function, I need to send one parameter. That parameter is nothing but char, that is ch, that will going to read a single character. Getting that? So here what I am doing? I am using IFStream fin. So what is that fin? That is an object for the class called IFStream. So what are the things I am sending? I am sending a file name. So what is this? Just recall the previous class. So what I am doing? I am opening a file by making use of constructor. So by making use of constructor, I am opening a file called text.txt, that is text file. The name of a file is text, right? So I am opening a file, that is input stream file, with an object called fin. So what is the class here? FStream is a class and fin is an object name. So when I am creating this object, at the time the constructor will be called. So what I am sending within that constructor? In order to open the file, I am sending the file name. Getting? So then how to access the member function of a class? So class, already we know that FStream, that is IFStream is a class, and I have an object called fin. So with the help of that fin, I am going to call a member function called get. What is the parameter or a argument that I am sending within the get function? That is ch. That is nothing but character. That is single character. Getting? So this is how I can give the input to the text file by making use of this get member function. So this is important topic. How can we perform an input and output operation in a text file? Getting? So this is how I am going to do. So instead of that, also I can create one object for the IFStream. Then I can also call the constructor. That means I can specify the opening of a file, and then I can call this member function called get. So this is regarding how to give the input to the text file by making use of this get member function, right? So it belongs to which stream then? IFStream, that is input file stream. Then what if I want to perform an output operation? That is just a reverse of that get file or get member function. You can see here this put member function. Put is nothing but what? I am displaying some content on the file, right? So what I'm displaying or what I'm giving? I'm displaying a single character. So with the help of this put member function. So if it is related to output, then which class it will going to belong, or for which stream it will going to belong? It will going to belong to OF stream. So the put member function belongs to the class called OF stream. So what it will going to do? So it will going to write a single character. So if it is get, it will going to read. So if it is put, then it will going to write a single character to the associated stream. Getting? So what I am supposed to take now? IF stream or a OF stream? OF stream. Why it is OF stream then? It is belongs to OF stream class. So I am supposed to create an object for the OF stream. With the help of that object, I can call a member function called put. So that is mainly used to write a single character which is related to particular stream. Okay. So if you consider the syntax here, what I have OF stream object. That means I am creating an object for the OF stream, that is output stream. Okay. And then I am calling a member function called put. So put is the member function of the class called OF stream. Within that parameter, I am sending one character in order to write that single character to the stream. So if you consider the example, char ch is equal to a. I am declaring one variable. Along with that, I am assigning some value to that variable. What is the variable name here? Ch is the variable name. So then what is the value? That is a. So this a will be assigned to this ch. So when I am using this ch in the put member function, whatever the content is there in ch, that is a. That will be displayed on the screen. Okay. So let's get back to this example. OF stream, FO out. So that is F out. So what I am doing? I have a class called OF stream and I am creating one object. So what I am creating? An object called F out. So F out is the object of a class called OF stream. Here I am opening a file. If I want to perform any read or write operation, then it must be opened, right? File must be opened. Then how can I open the file? It can be with the help of constructor or a open member function. Am I specifying the open member function here? No. If not, then I am opening a file with a constructor. Then how it will be? OF stream and FO out. So that is F out, that is an object of a class OF stream, and I am opening a file with the help of constructor concept. So within this parenthesis or within an argument, I am sending a file name as a argument or a parameter. Getting? So with the help of this OF stream object, I am calling a member function called put. So within that, what I am specifying? I am specifying a character. So that is mainly used to write a single character on the OF stream. So if you use this sentence, that is FO dot put of CH. So then what's there in CH? That is nothing but A. So that will be displayed on the file. Getting? This is how I can print a single character to the associated stream by making use of the put member function. It is related to text file. Getting? Okay, now I got to know that how to give a single character as an input and how to use a single character as an output. Then, but what if I want to have multiple lines, or what if I want to read a complete line or a whole line as an input? Then I have a string input output operation, that is nothing but what? GetLine member function. What is the name of this member function? That is getLine. If I want to read a single character, then I have to go with get. So that will help me to fetch a single character. That will help me to read a single character, right? But if I want to read whole line or a complete line of a file, at the time I have to go with a member function called getLine. So you can see that it is used to read a whole line of a text. So what is it's reading? It is reading a complete line of a text. So it belongs to the class called IF stream. It is reading, right? So if it is reading, in the sense it belongs to input file stream, so that it belongs to the class called IF stream. Then what is the syntax? I have to create an object for the IF stream class. So with the help of that object, I can call a member function getLine. So then what are the content I am supposed to take as an argument? I have to take a buffer and then size. So what is this buffer means? So buffer is nothing but what? It is a temporary storage. It will going to hold the data which is necessary for the processing. Then size specifies the bytes, number of bytes which is required. Getting? So you can see here I have one example, char book of size. So what I am doing? I am creating one variable called book and I need to specify the size. Let me take one example, char a of 10. So what is the size of this a variable? I am creating one variable called a and the size is 10. Okay, and I have to create an object for the ifstream. So ifstream is the class where getLine function falls. That is nothing but what? ifstream, and I have to create an object for the ifstream. With the help of that ifstream object, I can call a member function getLine in order to read the whole line. Getting? So ifstream and fin is an object of a ifstream. So this is object name and this ifstream is nothing but class name. Then how can I access this member function? What is the member function here? GetLine. This fin is nothing but object name of a class ifstream. So before using this object, I have to create an object. How I am creating an object? I am specifying the class name and I am specifying the object name. What is the object name here? fin, that is belongs to the class called ifstream. Then how to access the member function getLine? So fin dot getLine. So what are the arguments or a parameter that I am sending to this getLine member function? I am sending book comma size. So what is this book? That book is nothing but what? Comprises of 10. The size. Let me take this book as a 10 and let me take a size as a 5. So what it will going to do? In buffer, that 10 will going to store in that buffer and it will going to hold the 5 bytes of storage for that book buffer. Getting? So when you want to read a complete line or when you want to read a whole line of text, at that time I am supposed to go with a member function called getLine and it is belongs to the class ifstream. So I have to create an object for the ifstream. With the help of that object and dot operator, I can call a member function called getLine. So in that I am going to specify the variable name, that is buffer name, and then I have to take the size. I hope you all understood what are the input and output operation which is related to text file, and if I want to read a complete line of text, I have to go with a string input output operation, that is getLine member function. Getting? So let me move on to the input and output operation in a binary file. So we have two types of file, text file as well as the binary file. So we know the characteristics of text file as well as the binary file. So what are the characteristics that binary file has? So binary files are mainly, if I write or if I take any data and information, everything will be in the machine readable form, isn't it? So that is nothing but every data and information will be stored in zeros and ones. So if it is zeros and ones, is there any requirement of the translation? No, because already it is in the computer understandable form, that is machine understandable form, and no delimiters are required. So no delimiters are required, right? So those are the characteristics. Then how it will be efficient? So coming to the binary file, the memory will be efficiently managed. So the memory management will be very efficient. There will be no loss or no wrong usage of the memory will going to take place in the binary file, and it is more optimized and it will be more faster. Why it is faster? Can you guess why it is faster? Because no translation is required, because every data and information will be in zeros and ones. Can we translate that zeros and ones again into zeros and ones? Is that required? No. So that the input and output operation will be for the binary file will be faster and memory utilization will be proper. Okay, so these are all the things you have to recall regarding the binary file. So if you see here, binary files are very much usable when we have to deal with database which consisting of records. So when we have more than one file that going to form a records, so together records we can create one database. The data will be large and information will be large. So if it is having more number of files, then the conversion and searching for the delimiter, everything will be hectic. So in order to remove or in order to reduce the complexity, I have a binary file. Every data and information will be in zeros and ones. So no translation is required and no delimiters are required, right? So for that, it will be more efficient and it will going to help me to optimize the storage space, along with all the input and output operation will be faster. Okay, so this is regarding binary file. Then how can I perform input and output operation by making use of this binary file? So there I have two methods, that is write and read member function. So it is similar to get and put. So get and put are the member function which I can use for the text file. But when it comes to the binary file, I have to use a two member function, that is write member function and read member function. As the name indicates, read member function is used for the input purpose and write member function is used for the output purpose. Getting? So let me move with this write member function. So as I discussed, write member functions are mainly used for the output purpose, right? So the write member function which is belongs to the OF stream. If it is OF stream, it must be understood. So what it must be? So it is used to write or it is used to display the content. So when it comes to the write member function, so it is mainly used to write the binary data to a file. I have a file and I need to write some data which is of binary. I need to write the binary data to the file. At the time I have to go with a member function called write. So that is belongs to which class? OF stream, that is related to output file stream. Getting? So what is the syntax? Oh ma'am, it's too lengthy. How can we remember? Let me have a look. So here OF stream object. If it is OF stream, it belongs to OF stream class, then what must be the object? It could be what? It must be what? OF stream object only. Can I use the input object for the OF stream? No. Can I use the output object for input stream? No. We have to create a particular object which is based on a particular stream. In the same way, here this write member function belongs to OF stream, right? So OF stream object, I am supposed to create an object which is of the OF stream and I am calling the member function called write. So what is the member function? Write. Why I require this write member function? That is mainly used to write a binary data to a file. Then I can perform any input and output operation, right? So by making use of this write member function, I am going to write the binary data to a file. So if you see here, with a dot operator, I am calling that write member function. So what are all the parameters I am sending here? Here, char star. So if it is star, then you have to go back to pointer, right? So what is the star indicates? Indirection operator. Why it is required? That is pointer operator. So whatever the variable that I am going to use, everything will be considered as a pointer variable. Then I have one more parameter, ampersand variable. So why we require this ampersand? Can you just recall why I require that ampersand or address of variable? So that is mainly used to hold the address of the variable which I am going to specify. Getting? After that, what I have a size of variable. I have one more argument or a parameter, that is size of variable. Here you have to remember one thing. I am creating an object for the OF stream and I am calling a member function write. So within that I have two parameters. One is address of variable and another one is size of the variable. So whatever the address of variable that I am going to specify, that will be typecasted to character. So that variable will be considered as a pointer variable. For example, here I am going to create one variable called s. So which kind of data variable it is? It is integer. So it is of the data type int. But if I specify address of yes, so what it will going to do? It will going to return the address of this yes where it is located in the memory location. So it could be either int, float, anything. So what I am doing here, I am going to do the typecasting. I am changing that data type to character data type. So there I have char star. So that means what? That star indicates indirection operator, that I am going to make this yes variable as a pointer variable that will going to hold the address of another variable. Getting? So for that purpose, I am going to use this one. So here working with binary, zeros and ones. So I cannot remember all the zeros and ones. So instead of that, I am going to have the reference. When it comes to the text file, so at that time it doesn't require all these things. When it comes to the binary file, we have to work with a reference that will gives me the address of that variable. Can you remember all the zeros and ones instruction? Somehow that will be difficult. So in order to remove that, here what I am doing, I am specifying the address of that variable. So whatever the data type of that variable could be, that must be typecasted to char, that is character data type. And I am using pointer variable that specifies whatever the address of variable will be typecasted to char, and then that will become what? Pointer variable. And I have one more argument, that is size of the variable. If you see here, the first is nothing but what? Address of the variable. This is first argument that I am sending to this write function, and second I am sending the size of the variable, which must be in the bytes. So the size of a variable I am going to send as a second parameter. Getting? After that, the address of the variable must be typecasted to the pointer to character. So whatever the address of variable that I am going to specify, that will be typecasted to character pointer variable. Getting? So that will going to hold the address of another variable. Then will you see the example here? Student, yes. So student is a name of a class. What I am doing? I am creating an object. So I am creating one object called yes, and this write member function belongs to which stream? IF or OF? It belongs to OF, right? So I am creating an object for the OF stream. So OF stream F out. So that F out is an object of a class called OF stream. So what are all the things I am specifying? I am opening a file and I am specifying the mode of a file, right? So what is the name of the file here? std.dat, that is file name. So I am opening a file in which mode? iOS, scope resolution operator, binary. If you get back to the previous session, you can get to know that what is this binary opening of a member function means. So what I'm doing, I'm opening a file for the binary operation, right? So here I'm specifying the file mode, and this is nothing but name of a file, and I have opened the file. Once I open the file, what I can do? I can do input and output operation, right? So what is the output operation I am performing? I am using write member function. So that is of the class OF stream, and I am calling that member function write by making use of f out, that is which is a object of a class OF stream. F out dot write. Write is a member function here, and what must be the parameters? I have to send two parameters. One is address of variable and another one is size of the variable. So here char star, so whatever the address of this variable, that is yes. The variable that I am specifying is yes, that specify the address of yes, that address will be typecasted to this variable s will be typecasted as a pointer variable, and I am specifying the size of this yes. It must be in the bytes, size must be in the bytes. So in this address, I am going to write some content. So the name of a file is std.dat. So that is the name of a file. I am writing the content to that file. I have opened that file in the mode of binary, and I am specifying the address of a variable called yes, that is of a class student. I am specifying the address of yes. I am typecasted that address of yes as a character variable, that is pointer variable. Then I am specifying the size of yes. So in that location, whatever the content that I am going to give, that will be write, or that will be used to write the binary data. So I am writing the binary data to this file called std.dat. Getting? So this is how write function will going to work. So then how can I give the read member function, or how can I use the read member function in the binary file? Let me have a look here. So read member function which belongs to if stream, because read is nothing but what? So that is input. If it is input, then it belongs to which stream? if stream, right? So mainly why we require, it is used to read the binary data from a file. I have a file, I need to write some content to the file, then I require this write member function. But if I want to read the binary data from a file, I have a file, I have some content, I want to write something. At the time I have to go with write member function. I have some content in the file and I must get that content from the file, that is from the binary data to the file. At the time I require this read member function. Getting? So write is nothing but mainly used to write the binary data to the file. So consider this one. Here I have a file. So read and write operation must to takes place. So if it is write, so if it is write member function, I am going to write some binary data to the file. If I consider this as a file, I am going to write binary data to the file. So this is file and writing. So I am writing. So which member function should I call? I must call a write member function. That is, I am giving some content, binary content to the file. Already I have some content. So what I am supposed to do now? I must read that content. I must read the binary data from a file. So here I have some data and it must be read. So I am going to call a member function called read. So I am reading the binary data from a file. So that is nothing but what? Read member function. Getting? So what is the syntax? So it is same as the previous one. So instead of OF stream, I have to take IF stream here. So make a correction here. So that is IF stream object dot read. So read is a member function and I am typecasting here. So whatever the address of variable, that must be typecasted to character pointer. Then I must specify the size of a variable. So this is same as the previous one. So now I am done with reading of a binary content. That means what I am doing here, I can read the binary data from a file or I can write the binary data to a file. So once I am done with all the file operation, I have to close a file, right? So that has been done in the previous session itself. Then how can I get to know it is an end of a file? So if I didn't get to know that it is an end of a file, what I am going to do? I am going to try to open it, or I am going to read the content, or I am going to write the content. So in order to prevent all those things, I have to work with end of a file. So this end of a file, it is mainly a mandatory or a necessary in order to further or in order to prevent any further attempts to read data from the file. I am at the end of a file. So consider this one as a file. I have several lines of code. That means data and information will be in the file. But I am at the end of the file. If I don't know I am at the end of a file, I am trying to read. I am trying to read the content from that file. So what I am going to do? I will be end with error, right? So in order to prevent all these things, I have to go with a concept called end of a file. So what it will going to do? So this EOF, that is end of a file member function, will going to help me that so we are at the end of a file. So when I get to know that I am at the end of a file, am I going to read any content from there? No. I got to know that I am at the end of a file, then there is no further lines of data and information. So with the help of this EOF member function, so it is belongs to which class? iOS class. We know that we have several file modes and we have a main class. We have a main base class, that is iOS, that is input output stream, right? So this EOS member function is also belongs to a class called iOS, that is input output stream. So why I require this EOF files? That is mainly used to recognize or to get to know the end of a file. If I know the end of a file, I am not going to read any content from there. Getting? So then How this EOF member function will going to do? So this will help us to understand we are at the end of a file, right? So if you consider this as a file, I am going to use this EOF member function somewhere else. I am going to use this EOF member function somewhere else in the program, right? I am going to use this EOF member function somewhere in the functions or somewhere in the file. So this member function will going to returns a non-zero. Non-zero in the sense what? True. So other than 0 is nothing but true. So at the time what it will going to do? So if the end of file condition is encounter. So I have a member function called EOF and I have a file. In that time when I am using this EOF, if that EOF returns true, so that is non-zero, that specifies that we are at the end of a file. So what it will going to do? So it will going to specify that end of the file condition is encountered when it is reading. So here I am reading some content. So at that time I am going to found this EOF member function. If this EOF member function returns true, so that is nothing but non-zero. Let me take that as 1. So if it is non-zero, then it will going to say that so we are at the end of a file. If it is 0, at that time it will going to returns false. That means we are not at the end of a file. So when the end of file is encountered true, if the condition is true, at that time we are at the end of a file. If the condition is false, we are not the end of a file. Here I have a file. Let me take this one. Here I have a file. I am going to read the content of this file. Here I have EOF member function and I have some more lines of a code. So I encountered this EOF member function. Then what it has to return right now? It has to return 0 because I am not at the end of a file. So it must be false. So we are not at the end of a file. It must be false so that I can get to know that I have some more lines or some more data and information in that file so that I can continue my reading. So I am going to read the further content. So this is when the EOF is 0, that is false. So I have one more file and I am going to read the content of the file and I am at the end of a file, that is EOF function is there. So when this EOF function will going to return true. So when it going to return true, so when the value, when it returns the non-zero value, that is other than the 0, at the time what I am get to know, it will encounter that we are at the end of a file. So further I don't have any code so that I am not going to read. So this is how end of the file will going to work. If it is non-zero or a true, so then it will going to say us the file condition is encounter, that is end of the file counter is encountered. If it is 0, that is false. At that time what it will going to do? It will going to continue the further reading. If you see here I have one object which is of the data or which is of the class stream, that is IF stream, and I have an object called FIN. So here it is nothing but what? Input stream, and I am creating an object input, that is FIN. So if FIN dot EOF, what I am doing here? I am checking the condition. If the condition is true, at that time what it will going to do? It will going to run the statement which is resides in that particular block of code. If the condition is false, then it will going to perform or it will going to read the further content, right? When this EOF member functions returns true, then you have to remember that is end of the file. When EOF member function return false or 0, at that time we are not at the end of a file. Okay, so when the EOF member functions return true, that is nothing but end of a file. When EOF member function, that is end of a file member function returns false, that is nothing but 0, at that time we are not in the end of a file. We are not in the end of a file. If it is true, so in this case if it is true, whatever the statement is there in that block will going to execute. If it is false, it will comes out of the loop and it will going to have the further set of lines of that particular file. Getting? So this is how end of file will going to work. So this is used to execute set of statements on the reaching the end of a file by the object FIN. Getting? So this is how can I detect the end of a file. That will help us to prevent or in order to further attention of the reading of a data from the file. Okay, I hope you all understood with today's session. In this session, I have discussed how to use or how to operate input and output operation in text file as well as the binary file. When it comes to the text file, I have a get member function and put member function, and regarding each of the member function, you have to learn its syntax along with one or two example. Then coming to the get line, if I want to read more than one line, I have to go with this get line member function. After that, I had a discussion regarding what are the input and output operation I can work or I can perform on the binary file, right? So for that, I have to use this write and read member function. Here, I'm supposed to take the size and I need to specify the address of that particular variable or an operator. After that, I had a discussion regarding the read member function that is mainly used to read the binary data from the file. And then I have one example. Then I have detected we are at the end of a file as well as the end of a class. Getting? It's all about today's session. I hope you all understood with today's concept. Let me meet you in the next session with next content of this data file handling, that is file pointers and their manipulation. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you very much.